We're down to the final two games of the season, ladies and gentlemen. And the qualifier two we have in presence Rajasthan Royals versus the Sunrisers Hyderabad. The winner stays alive, the loser is done and dusted for the tournament. Both of these teams have won the IPL only once. What's the take? Can they go and face the Kolkata Knight Riders at this venue? We are now shifting from Ahmedabad to Chennai. I have Jian with me and Sandy Paji. I'll come to Jian first. Day before yesterday, eliminate a game against the Royal Challengers Bangalore. You said it's a 60-40 to the Bangalore, but ended up winning it comprehensively. How was the boost in the side after such a wonderful performance?
I think the toss mattered. I think big time it mattered because there was, you can say, there was potential a lot of dew, which was seen in the first innings only, like in the 13th, 14th over. I observed quite a lot of dew coming in. So I think the toss really mattered. And, RR winning that toss, opting to bowl and getting a good start. So that obviously it puts some pressure. So, Faf getting out early, then later on, you get the big fish Virat Kohli when he was looking to settle in. So they RR didn't allow Virat to get settle in like how he had settled in at Jaipur, when he scored the 100. So this time, Yuzi got him. And so it was the DK's wicket was a quite controversial one. I mean, 50-50 that what I feel is 10-15 runs would have been it would have
Absolutely.
been more or less definitely. And but yeah, otherwise the bowling effort was phenomenal. I think Avesh bowled really well, even though he went for a few runs, but he got those three wickets, and that was, I think, really, 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 I think, well. And I think the batters did their job. I mean, especially I think more than anyone, I enjoyed Riyan Parag a lot. It's this entire season he's been doing it with a lot of maturity, with a lot of composure, and he's been doing what he's been asked to do at number four. Settling in, looking what kind of an approach to play, and it's really really amazing to see. I think, and then Powell finishing it off and ending that thing. So it doesn't matter if you lose four in a row, if you win six in a row. That one game it just matters. You have to win that game, and it matters the most. I think RR prevailed that.
Absolutely. RR prevailed there. The decision of Dinesh Karthik, I even thought it was plumb in front. The umpire hurried himself because that did not look bad. If there was bad involved, DK wouldn't have consulted with the non-striker, to be honest. But yes, that's the result for Rajasthan. Coming to you, Paji, before we move on, Sunrise Hyderabad, are they completely reliant on their two openers?
Definitely, I think that's why it's going to be such a brilliant game against Rajasthan. You've got Bolt bowling against Abhishek. That looks like a mouth-watering performance, and we've seen a chink in armor in Travis Head against left armers. So that's going to be something good, and we want to see as obviously Indian fans to see if that is the chink on armor and can Arshdeep bowl him like he did last time because Travis has been the thorn in the side of India for quite a while. But Sunrisers, all of their batting depends on that opening partnership giving them the base, and that sets up for the big scores. And that's why I'm saying it's really going to be interesting today, tomorrow. You've got Sunrisers. Once they get that good start, they can score, between 220, 240, no problem. But can the Rajasthan bowlers really restrict them? And then you've got superior spin bowling in the Rajasthan camp compared to them. I think that is the big
Correct.
differential. So that's something that I'm thinking is going to be crucial. And will Rajasthan bowl Ashwin in the power play? That's something that I really, really want to see.
Absolutely, because it's two left-handed batsmen. Sanju Samson might fancy himself, but as you rightly said, the spinners might be the difference. We're done with this. Let's kickstart the proceedings with the journey so far for both the teams. Starting with the home side for today's game is the Sunrisers Hyderabad. I'll come to Paji once again. Back to you. How has been their run, as you rightly said? But still, I would ask you: was that the defeat against the Knight Riders a blunder by Pat Cummins is deciding to bat first on a very good surface, where you see that as the game progresses, batting becomes easier?
Yeah, again, this is something that I tipped yesterday. I said if Rajasthan bat second, RCB can't win, and Pat Cummins did make a blunder with that, no doubt. I think he thought that they were going to get this killer start and then just bat out KKR, but it never happened because the KKR bowling and obviously Stark was brilliant. So I don't think that was key factors, but it's always going to favour the second. Second but chasing team in at Ahmedabad. I think this is a big issue with Chennai. Chennai is more of an even ground for me. It doesn't matter if you're batting first or second, a good score or low score, you can defend it at that ground. So it's going to be interesting. But I think it's a big blow to Sunrisers because they came, very, very pumped for that match. And, the winners out. And on the opposite side, Rajasthan come off a good victory. So it's going to be really interesting.
Absolutely, it's going to be a really interesting game. These two teams had faced each other only once at their Hyderabad stadium, and we all know how close that encounter was. I remember Gian. But coming to you, Gian, how do you look into this fixture? Just because, as I said, that one run defeat might still pinch you guys, and when especially when Bhuvi bowls to Robin Powell.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put that game behind now. It's gone done and dusted. I mean, it is just a full-fledged semi-final now. It's like hit or miss. Like whoever wins goes to the final, whoever loses goes back home. So I think that that movies ball to Powell, it won't really matter anymore now. Because there is no run rate scenario, there is no finishing on the points table, so it is just a knockout game, but it's just a direct knockout game. So it is a new day, a new game. So I think the boys should be well prepared, and obviously they will be looking to tick those boxes because RR had obviously made a good comeback that game. Rian was doing well, Hetmeyer got out at the wrong time, and then Powell couldn't finish it at the end. So I think a few boxes to tick, and I think as Paji mentioned, those two SRH's main power hitters, Abhishek and Travis Head, and what exactly KKR did in the previous game. So I think Stark was brilliant with that, and so if you crack them early, even one of them, you get them inside 2-3 overs. And so I think that will be putting a lot of pressure because, Rahul Tripathi tried to add runs against
Correct.
KKR, but again, he's just come into the tournament. You can't be rely too much upon him. And they were obviously trying to get those middle over runs by Klassen, but again, KKR did not allow that also much to happen. But yeah, they have a good batting depth. Of course, Devin Pat Cummins, had those crucial runs at the last wicket. But RR on the other hand have that bowling power of in the form of Ashwin in Ravichandran Ashwin. I mean, the way he's bowling since the last 2-3 games is unbelievable. I mean,
And he's back
he's
home.
putting absolutely his bowling will be at he'll be bowling at Chepauk. I mean, a running track. I think we shouldn't even rule out Yuzvendra Chahal over here because if it's a turning track, definitely he will, even if he goes for a runs, he'll get you those 2-3 wickets for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised by if Sanju picks uh, Keshav Maharaj is one of
Keshav
the
Maharaj.
one of the third spinners if the pitch suits if the pitch suits him and because the guy can get you those 2 wickets, 3 wickets, and get that economy also under control. So Ashwin will have more support, and he's also a player who can stick around, hang around for a while, and or he can add those few maybe a few 10 runs extra if the team needs it with the like lower middle order.
Okay, so you have summed it up pretty well for both the sides, RR and SRH, and we are done with the road to the finals as well. Let's take a look into the new stadium, which is the M.A Chidambaram Stadium, hosting qualifier number 2. Here it is pitch report of M.A Chidambaram Stadium. Paji, I'll come to you. More or less, it has been a chasing ground. And as Jihan rightly said, that they would rather attempt for the third spinner in these Chepauk conditions. If you're defending a target of something, anything, and you're tempted to have a Keshav Maharaj, but we know that Chennai has a lot of dew, heavy dew in the surface. Would you be tempted to have a third spinner because he will not be able to grip the ball?
As I said, these top quality bowlers, they seem to find a way, and the quality of Rajasthan's spin attack. And you had Kashyap Maharaj. If any team needed a spinner, a foreign spinner, you'd be on the top 2, 3 of the list. So I think they could possibly do that. And again, this could be the heel of Sunrisers controlling the innings. Not bowling the wide balls as much, or giving the spinners has more control over possibly the quicker bowlers. And you look at the batting of Sunrisers, they seem to be very, very pace reliant. They like to hit the quicker bowlers more, and you make them think, make them make the mistakes. Take a quick wicket in the power play. I think Rajasthan does have the edge, and their spinners, Markande and these guys, they're not as that quality. So I think having a quality spinner, having a bits and pieces spinner, I would say is a problem. But having a top quality spinner, someone like Maharaj, you would fancy that maybe over Sandeep. Although I like Sandeep, I think they could possibly do that switch or take one of Powell out. They could take Powell out because now Hetmeyer is in form. So they've got a lot of options of flexibility in the team.
Okay, they have a lot of flexibility, but Jian, when it comes to SRH, they do not have many like frontline spinners. They had tried with the Markande, now Kundu Vijaykant. They will struggle in that department compared to Rajasthan Royals.
See, I'll be very honest. Even thinking from SRH's point of view over here, I think instead of Vijay I think they should go opt for Aiden Makram over there. And
Absolutely.
Aiden Makram, brings in that experience. He can carry on that batting form with he can come one down or two down, and keep continuing the slow runs. And also, he is a bowler who can get you those like he can get you a power. He can get you the one or two power play overs as well. So I think it is the right time. I feel if not Markram, I think even Glenn Phillips will be an ideal choice over here because Phillips, since he is not played, I think it's a very unlucky tournament for him. I mean, he was one of the man of the tournaments for SRH last year, and he had finished the game. He was one of the finishers also at the end for SRH against RR at Jaipur. So wouldn't be surprised if he gets a pinch, but I think it will be Makram. It should be Makram according to me on such a surface. I
Yep.
mean, we know, even if he scores that 50 of some 38, 39 balls, but those runs could be very handy. And where Head and Abhishek got out the previous game, I think a player like Aiden Makram's caliber only would have added a few more runs maybe. And of course, there was Pat Cummins later on. There was Rahul Tripathi who added those for them. But a player like Makaram's experience, he was the captain earlier as well. So I think you need that kind of experience into your 11.
Okay, so absolutely, and I absolutely agree with this. But Captain like Pat Cummins, will he be tempted to make so many changes? Is my only concern. That's the reason why I don't think so. But yes, you have rightly mentioned that. But we're done with the pitch report. Let's take a look into the key things the teams should know before this game. Talking about the Sunrise Hyderabad, Paji, openers will be very crucial for them. As you rightly mentioned, it's the backbone for the Sunrise Hyderabad team, the two openers. Lack of responsible middle order batsmen. While writing this point, I was thinking about an Aiden Markram, to be very honest, and need early breakthroughs with the new ball. When it's required, they are not able to get breakthroughs. Whether it's the previous game against the Kolkata Knight Riders, they needed to break the shackles, get the wicket of Sunil Narayan, either make it 20 for 2. They couldn't do that. So, what's your take on, as an overall, what can Sunrisers do to get the win today and then move on to the finals?
As I said, they've got to bowl well, and if they don't bat well, can they then defend a smaller score? I just don't see them being able to do that. They've not managed it really in this tournament. They've really blasted teams out, from the start. So that's why I think if they do win the toss, they may still go for the batting first option, and then just trying to get a score between in Chepauk around 230, 240, and then Rajasthan will have to take a lot of risks in their batting. If it's under 180 or 180 score, I think the way Sanju is batting at the moment, and obviously Lord Parag, I think they could definitely get that score quite good. And now Hetmai is coming back into form with the couple of injuries that he had. He could save it back. So I think it's really, really important for them openers to get them to that score, and make the run rate really, really high. So Rajasthan then have to take risks, and if they do have to take risks, then they can take the wickets. But I just see this bowling attack of Sunrisers, and I think the Rajasthan batting will be able to cope better with that. And can their batting cope with the Rajasthan bowling? I'm not so sure now.
Yeah, it's a very, very long tail or big batting lineup Rajasthan Royals have, whether they're batting first or batting second. Fantastic for that. And thank you so much, Paji, for explaining this. And going to their opponents, which is the Sunrise Hyderabad, I'm sorry, which is the Rajasthan Royals. TKC and Yashasvi Jaiswal only played, I guess, couple of games together, but the last game they were fine and really batted well. The spinners, they will be the key in this game, absolutely very key. But the West Indian finishes, I'll come to Hetmeyer first, Jian. You must be gutted. Two times he should have finished out the game and getting the team over the line. When it required, he threw out the wicket and then it went down to Powell. Once he couldn't, the next time he did in the previous game. How much do you think these finishers need to be responsible and play according to the situation of the game?
So you just mentioned Shimron Hetmyer, getting out potentially when they are needed 15 or 15 balls. This exactly reminded me of the game against SRH only, which they lost, and Hetmyer getting out at a very, very wrong time. I think that was the turning point of that match, and we ended up losing by a run. So I think if Hetmyer would have added a few more runs, say around, if he would have scored a boundary or two, that scenario would have been different. Maybe RR would have been played would have played the qualifier one, but that's a different story altogether. But I think, yes, Hetmeyer and Powell have to take up responsibilities because Powell got out in that match, Hetmeyer got out in the previous match. So it's kind of thing. But I think they both have finished games. They know their roles well. I mean, Powell is the side of West Indies T20 also, and he's the captain. And I think he will be he will be taking all that experience in definitely for sure because he will have to follow that entire thing in that T20 World Cup, which is just 2 weeks away now. So and it's his home conditions as well. So I think he'll be looking to get that all that experience and that finishing role what he has been asked to get in that. And but I think we shouldn't be completely relied on these guys. You just mentioned TKC and Yashasvi as the opening pair. I mean, Yashasvi, despite scoring 45, he wasn't looking too confident. And
Exactly.
his a few of them,
Absolutely
like
correct.
he looked a bit nervy because I think that's because of his entire season. His form, what like he's not been performing too well. I mean, he got 100 against Mumbai, but again, that was also coming after a very bad patch of runs. So, and his form has been very very thick because I had personally, on my personal level, I had taken him as a orange cap contender this season, but it obviously didn't work out at all. And we have been heavily relied on Josh, Sanju, and Rayan this season completely. But I think if TKC and Yashasvi, just add that winning momentum, the what kind of start what SRH usually gives, in the power play they score around 80, 90 runs or 100 runs. If even if RR scores 75, 80 in that power play, that he can, they will have a very good stage set up for that middle order players like Sanju, Rayan to come and then Hetmaya Dhruv Jurel to finish. So at aim TKC has absolute nothing to lose. I mean, we can't really blame him. He's filling in big shoes of Josh Butler. I mean, that presence and expertise is obviously going to be missed, but TKC, we saw him last match what he did and, added that 25, 30 runs, which was crucial, definitely a lot crucial because smashed 2, 3 boundaries, a couple of sixes. So, these kind of things matter a lot in this format. So
Absolutely,
I think
because those starts are very crucial to be given no matter what. Even for the Raimanullah Gurbaz for the Kolkata Knight Riders, the 25-30 odd runs which he contributed with the bat in the power play gave you the momentum for the rest of the batters to float around. So, yes, Gian, I absolutely agree. And you summed it up pretty well for the key things to take a note. Both teams are done. Let's take a look into the top three players to watch out for. Yeah, three players I've taken from both the sides. I'll come to Sunrise Hyderabad for Paji. Paji, if you can sum it up, Abhishek Sharma, Pat Cummings, and T. Natarajan, local lad for the Sunrise Hyderabad. And for Rajasthan Royals, I'll come to Jian. It's Ravichandran Ashwin, Parag, and Yuzvendra Chahal, the three players I've chosen. I'll start with Paji, please.
Yeah, I think you've selected the right players. I'd say possibly I agree with Gian that we could possibly put Markham in there because he would be a really important one with the captain. He's not captain, but he's got his captaincy experience. When the pressure is on, he could do something with the bat and with the ball. But again, Pat Cummins is going to be crucial in this because I've say his bowling has been pretty good this season. Not really been hit for too many runs in too many games, and he's been taking some crucial wickets. So, but again, scoring the runs at the bottom end, I think that's where they'll probably need him more. And Natarajan, definitely, he's come back to life this season. Great to see him. And the left arm bowler knows the conditions of Chipok. He's going to be a big player for them. And Abhishek Sharma, he can set the foundation. If Abhishek fires, I think that's where the clear differential between the two teams is. You've got an out of form Riyash Ashwi, who's that 100 saved him for the World Cup. Had he not got that 100, I don't think he would have been selected for India. I honestly believe that. Maybe Shubman would have got it, but as I said, that's just my personal opinion. But Abhishek is the one who's on fire, and if he gets in, and then that will then put on a lot of pressure when Rajasthan bat because the power play differential might be key in who wins this game.
Okay, and going to you, Jian, if you can sum it up the Rajasthan three players, please.
I mean, Ashwin, if I think pretty much taken the good, like the best players of the year. Chipok, which will, fans like they love to play at this ground. I mean, Ashwin, it's his home ground. He's been playing here since I don't know how many years now. And
Yep.
since 2, 3 games also, he's been performing economically, doing so well. And, even with the bat, we cannot count Ashwin out with the bat. Like the way he can come at number 4, number 5 also, can promote himself up the order and, get those runs. And then Rian, what can like I can say is like for me already personally, I see Rian Parag as a player of the tournament for RR definitely for sure. I mean there is no debate about it. And usually, obviously, he's just become the Rajasthan Royals top wicket taker, and with along with being the highest wicket taker in IPL, so he's just overtaken Siddharth Trivedi his wicket tally. So that's
Okay.
one thing. But I think one more player, if I would want to add, would be Trent Bolt versus Abhishek Sharma or Travis Head. That will be a big key because in SRH versus Punjab, got Arshdeep break to Travis Head, and what Stark did to Travis Head in the previous game. So that left arm bowler will be
Yeah.
very crucial to get that wicket, and you to get Travis Head or Abhishek. The first wicket of either of them would be very crucial, and that would add, I can say, a lot of pressure,
And
to the new batter coming in.
Gian, if I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if I'm not mistaken, the reverse fixture where SRH played Rajasthan at Hyderabad, Trent Bolt got him getting a leading edge to point, which was dropped by Riyan Parag first ball.
It was, I would not say a drop. It was a very difficult attempt, of course, just
Okay.
according to me, because it was a very difficult attempt. But yeah, Riyan Parak being one of the best fielders in the tournament, I think it should have been taken at that. That I think he scored. I think he scored over 50 runs if I'm not wrong, and that could have been a huge pressure for SRH coming in. I mean, getting out on the first ball is obviously a mental block for your side. You always look to get off the mark, with a single or a boundary or whatever, but you just look to get off that mark and get that mental block that I'm not on zero anymore. But yes, I think, as I said, Trent Bolt will be a very crucial factor for Travis Head and Abhishek. Even if he Bolt ends up managing taking both. We know what Trent Bolt is capable of. Power play Bolt. Most wickets in the power play this season and even overall IPL with tied with Bhuvi. So yes, Bolt will be very crucial there.
Okay, so you have summed it up your three players. Paji is done for the Sunrise Hyderabad. Before I go on to the battles, I know this person has spoken about Riyan Parak for a lot of years. Paji, I'll now give it over to you. A couple of minutes for Riyan Parak, please.
Something, there's something always there. There's a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and he says it himself, which absolutely I love. You know, he's always believed in his ability, and the first few years at Rajasthan, obviously he was in and out the team. He was in the team, wasn't scoring runs, and kudos to the management. And this is when you have a stable management and the coaching staff. You're allowed to get these players to come to that level. And then we saw him in the domestics for Assam, and I follow Indian cricket like that as well. And I was just seeing he was just getting consistent runs. I think he's the captain of Assam as well. So he's not just a highlight player, he's also the captain. So he has all the pressure. And Assam had done really, really well. And I saw him before, obviously, the IPL, and I said, something, this is the fittest he's ever looked. When he first came to Rajasthan, he was carrying the additional weight. He didn't look, in the thing, and he's just taken his fitness to another level. That speeded him up on the pitch, and now he's just got that game pace, And now we always used to laugh when we said Lord Paraki J, but it's definitely Lord Paraki J. And to be fair, he's knocking on that door for the fourth or fifth batting space for India, because there's potential that after this World Cup, India will be experimenting with these younger players and keep the older players for the test matches. So I think Parag in the blue colours of India is going to happen very soon, and then it's something to celebrate, because this is what we like, having stable coaching, having these players, making these players to the level they are. And kudos to both Assam and Rajasthan for doing that.
Absolutely, you summed it up fantastic. Thank you so much to both of you. It's time. Let's move on to the battles in this game. Yeah, three battles I have chosen: a Yashasvi Jaiswal versus the Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. I had to put a Trent Bolt versus Travis Head. I'll put a slash beside him and Abhishek Sharma as well, just because you both have been saying about him. And Ravi Chandran Ashwin versus Henry Klassen. I was tempted to give it to Yuzvendra Chahal, but it's somebody Ashwin knows it better at the chip off. So I'll start with Jihan first. If you can sum up the three players, then I'll go to Paji, please.
Yeah, I think absolutely bang on we have chosen. I think, Bhuvaneshwar, we cannot counter. He had a very, very rough start to the tournament, going for, over 100 runs in the first two matches. And, we don't really expect that from a player like Bhuvi, who's been the most economical bowler for SRH and Team India as well. And this player, doesn't give too many runs, but yeah, every bowler, every player has its off day or season. But yeah, you cannot count him out. He was the match winner against RR after all, and he won them that match via run. So yes, that experience still matters. And yes, Yashasvi being out of form, Yashasvi definitely can, will try and take on Bhuvi definitely, because Bhuvi doesn't bowl with a lot of pace, and Yashasvi looks to like he's not been able to time the ball too well this season. A lot of mishits, a lot of they're going giving edges. He got out in the slips also in between. So I think it will be a very very tight contest, and Bhuvi likes to get the ball swinging in the first two overs especially. And Yashasvi will be very vulnerable to play that of outside cover drive, and maybe he might make it to the first slip or maybe to the wicket keeper. Or if Bhuvi tries to get the ball in swinging, then I think Yashasvi can easily be trapped LBW. That is for sure. But yeah, and Red Ball Travis said I just spoke about. I mean, how crucial that factor can be. Ashwin, a chess wizard, I think you cannot really question him nor talk much about him, because he knows the game best. And I mean, nobody, even tries to even think about what Ashwin must be having in his head. He changes his bowling rhythm and all, and which is working very well. So I think Hendrik Klassen, power hitter, you cannot count him. That guy can literally take SRH. He can literally score 100 runs in the last six
Single-handed.
overs. Literally, he can score 100 in the last six overs, definitely. And but again, a player like Ashwin's caliber or experience only could get such a man out. That is for sure.
Okay, so which one out of these three is your top one? Is it a Bolt versus
Uh,
Head?
Definitely, that is my first pick.
Okay, Paji, to you now, please.
Yeah, I say I agree with what Jay said for most of that, but I'm going to slightly change it up. I think for me, batsman, key wicket is Sanju. I think Sanju for me has really, really, it's the way he's getting the runs. He's playing with the patience, with the pressure. He's striking the ball beautifully. And how can SRH get him out? I'm kind of thinking they might be able to break through the opening pair quite easily, but how can they stop Sanju? Because then Sanju starts batting, and then Parag comes in, and then you've got the finisher. So it really, really matters for SRH to take those wickets early. So maybe Pat Cummins versus Sanju might be something that we could look forward to, because that might be the key battle of the captains. So I think really look at that one. Obviously, Travis said Abhishek. I agree with that one. And then the other one, yes, you could probably have Ashwin and Clarkson, but can Sunrisers need Clarkson to come in around the 10th to 12th over? If Clarkson is coming in before that, I see him as a different player. I think he needs to, start playing his shot straight away, and then he will get the big runs and maybe score the 100, in the last six or seven overs. But I think when Clarkson comes in earlier, it's a bit like the Liam Livingston situation. When Liam
Correct.
Livingston comes before the 10th over, he's not as effective. You put him after the 12th or 13th over, once the foundation is built, then he's a different level. So realistically, the battle of the openers, the battle of the spinners, and the battle of the captains is gonna really, really be crucial in this game.
Okay, so you have summed it up. Gian has summed it up. So you have added one more. Is the captain's battle, and that's very, very interesting of you. Thank you so much for that, Paji. We're done with the battles. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11. Starting with the home side, I absolutely agree with what Gian said. I am still tempted to drop somebody like a Vijay Kant and have an Aiden Markram. My question to you first, which is Paji, if you have an Aiden Markram instead of Vijay Kant, who do you drop among it? Is it Rahul Tripathi back to the impact player? Is it Abdul Samad you drop? Because I think Shabaz Ahmed's bowling will be crucial in this surface.
Yeah, and Shahbaz Ahmed also gives you the extra additional runs with the bat. So he's probably there, all round cricketer. You've got to try to get Markram in there. And Tripathi played well in the last game, and he seems to be playing with some confidence as well. I don't think you could drop him. So it's going to be a very, very tough decision how they're going to fit him in. But the common sense approach is to play Markram in this game. So how they're going to do that. And then that drops Nitish Reddy one place down, which I
Yep.
think he's a better player at as well.
Absolutely. Yep. Even I think so. I think he's too early in a number four position. Number five is well suited alongside Henrik Klassen, alongside maybe and Shahbaz Ahmed. You might just see Abdul Samad getting dropped. Is the only player I can see in this 11 if you have to bring in Aiden Markram into the playing 11. Apart from that, stays the same. Going to the opponents, why change a good 11 once you already won a game after 4 games? Yes, Gian, please.
Pretty much same. I think I wouldn't, change much. And I think hearing about the conditions, it might be overcast as well. So yeah, I don't think there will be too much of a difference. But I think just the one change, what I'll be thinking is maybe if it is a spin friendly, we could just see Keshav Maharaj in for Roman Powell, probably, or Shimran Hetmeyer. But I don't think Shimran Hetmeyer is going to get off. But I think Hetmeyer is being used as an impact sub if RR is chasing the total. So I think yeah, definitely. I think I don't
Go
see the
according to
team
the
getting
situation.
changed. Sorry.
Go according to the situation of the toss.
I think yes, definitely. I think I really don't think RR will be looking to make any change. I think the team is already into a momentum. Everybody has been looking good. Everybody has contributed well. So I don't think too much of a change will be needed. Probably maybe if they are batting first, they will be playing Hetmeyer, and they will be playing all the four overseas. Maybe Trent Bolt would be the one who would miss out, and maybe an Indian batter. I don't know. Anything could be possible. Yeah.
I was about to ask you when you were saying about the two West Indians that do you think Robman Powell will be the fielder after grabbing 4 catches the other day?
No, I don't think. Definitely. I mean, he was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. And completely on the ground, taking a blinder, taking that crucial catch in there. It's not easy when you catch. There was a Powell catching blinder, and there was the Rujerel who dropped a dolly. So there are
Yeah.
two different, but that's a part and parcel of the game. I mean, catches win you matches, definitely. Either Powell caught 4 catches, hit those winning runs. So yeah, it will be very, very big. But I think if that's the scenario, I really don't think RR is going to make it. They'll be going with the same team.
Same team is what Gian thinks, and that's what I even think. I don't think so. Keshav Maharaj makes into the 11 just because it's something a very due condition. If it's a first innings and RR are bowling first, then that's something. Yes, Gian, please.
So, just the thought what I had got that we have been, overlooking is that Riyan Parag also can be bowling off spin. So, that
Correct.
1 or 2 overs, if Riyan gets in, he's been bowling well in domestic team, taking wickets, and you never know. You really never know. If Riyan bowls in power play or, gets 1 or 2 overs, and if he gets 2, 3 wickets in that, that go man with the
That's a
golden arm,
bonus.
you really, but the guy can get last in Nitish Reddy or maybe a Rahul Tripathi, that adds a lot of pressure to SRH, his batting order. Even if they are batting first or batting second, it wouldn't matter. So I think Sanju would be tempted to, if Sanju is looking to play the same 11, then he might or might not be wanting to, go and give Rihanna ball or two, over or two.
Okay, because the team, the management of RR as well as the captain is doing a phenomenal job. We might see that anything can happen because the two frontline spinners are there. Chahal and Ashwin. You might just see Rian chipping up with a couple of overs. We're done with the predicted playing 11. It's an all important game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on to the predictions time now. Qualifier number 2, it's SRH versus RR. The winner goes on to the finals against the Kolkata Knight Riders. Before I ask you the predictions of this game, Paji, I'll start with you. How much do you think, whoever goes on to the final, how much advantage do you still think KKR is favorites for the final?
I do think KKR will be the favourites for the team, simply because I think the advantage that they have, they don't have the disadvantage of the spinners. Their spinners are as good as Rajasthan's. They're better than Sunrisers. Their batting is batting really well. Captain is coming out, and their bowlers seem to be coming into form as well. So I think for me, KKR definitely has probably been the strongest team in the thing. But then RR is the second complete team. The only doubts I have with RR is the mental fragility of the team. I think that's
Okay.
where I just see weaknesses, and whether that's coaching or on the field, they just seem to lack a little edge, which I think KKR has. And the reason why KKR have that edge is because they've got Gautam in charge. So I just think that is the differential. I think in this match, when we look at this match, I still think Rajasthan overall is a better team than Sunrisers. They have everything in place. The only thing that they don't have in place is Kavya Maran. But other than that, I think realistically, you look at those conditions. I think Chipok is a balancing wicket. It's not really going to favour. The dew is a big factor, but I don't think it is at Chipok. I don't think the batting first or second will come in place. But if Rajasthan bat first, or if they chase, I still think they've got the better spin attack, and I think the spin attack will speak at Chipok.
Okay, so give you a percentage, please, for this game.
I'm going to go 60% Rajasthan, 40% Sunrisers.
60-40 to RR. Going to you, Jian.
Look, the only probability or the thing is keeping this stuck in my head is Pat Cummins is the captain here. Okay, so I think that mental block will always be remain until and unless he's been defeated and be knocked out of the tournament. But again, and we had lost to Sunrisers even despite coming close. But that the margin anything doesn't matter. The win matters after all. The win by you win by 1 run or you win by 100 runs. That win is always that crucial factor. So I think I would go for a 50-50 contest over here. I will not side anyone winning because it is a knockout game. It is anybody's game. I mean, the one who plans executed well and who plays well. So I think both of them, SRH would be coming out hungry. Obviously, coming out of that loss, they would definitely be hoping to get across the line and get to have a second go at KKR and maybe end up winning that trophy. Rajasthan, on the other hand, would be wanting to come in that way from a winning momentum, only carrying that winning momentum, knock SRH out, taking that revenge of that previous match and going after KKR and taking that second title, what they had missed out in 2022. So yeah, I think it's a 50-50 contest over here.
Good point
50-50
about the
contest is
captaincy. Good point about Pat Cummins, because that is a mental edge for Sunrisers as well. Because that man is made out of bulletproof, and should he win the IPL, we know we're looking at that. Then honestly, I put him in the top bracket for captains because you cannot get a better couple of years than Pat Cummins has had, and the
I
IPL
think
will
a
be.
captain which has won everything in a span of 1 year.
Oh yeah, I don't think there would be a better captain ever in the history of cricket if he wins this IPL, because obviously we know the hopeless Mitchell Marsh will be captain, and that's why I don't want Australia to win the World Cup, because a horrible person. I just don't like that man, and I'm not going to be any more on that. But if Pat Cummins was captain for the World Australia and won that, then it would be over. It would be curtains, because as a captain, I think Pat Cummins, batting, bowling, his leadership is just second to none.
Absolutely. So they are done. Both of the teams, both of the guests have made their predictions. Very bold one, and the winner goes on to face the Kolkata Knight Riders in the final at this very stadium. Thank you so much, Padi. Thank you so much, Gian, as well, for this wonderful show. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Let us know your thoughts. Who do you think will face the Kolkata Knight Riders in the final on Sunday? Till then, don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.
Bye bye.